Good evening, everyone. I'm your host Yashasvi Gupta with your daily roundup of legal updates from across the country. For detailed reading, you can always visit on our website and please make sure to watch this video till the end. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. The Supreme Court has held that delay in complying with the court's direction does not amount to contempt if there is no willful or deliberate intent. A bench of CJI B.R. Gavai and Justice Augustine George Massey was hearing a contempt plea by a former bank manager against non-payment of dues within 3 months of an earlier order. Justice Massey observed that the breach was unintentional and thus contempt jurisdiction could not be invoked. Further, the court criticized the appellant for raising a new ground in the contempt petition about the grant of pension, as there was no adjudication to the said effect on the grant of pension. The court said that contempt jurisdiction is not a forum for asserting new claims or seeking substantive reliefs which were neither raised nor granted earlier. The Supreme Court has refused to quash an FIR against journalist and YouTuber Abhisar Sharma, who was booked by Assam police under section 152 of the new Bharati Nyaya Sanhita for criticizing the government's alleged communal politics and land allotment to private companies. Sharma, represented by senior advocate Kapil Sibal, argued that the provision is being misused as an omnibus weapon against journalists. While the court declined to interfere with the FIR, it granted Sharma 4 weeks of interim protection to move to the Guwahati High Court. Interestingly, the court also tagged Sharma's plea with a pending case challenging Section 152, under which the wires Siddharth Varadarajan and Karan Thapar had also sought protection. In the next news today, the Delhi High Court has ruled that a single accused can be convicted for the offence of gang rape under Section 376 DA of IPC, even if the co-offender manages to escape trial. In this case, the appellant was convicted under Section 363, which talks about kidnapping, Section 366, which covers kidnapping with intent of illicit intercourse, Section 376 DA, that is gang rape, Section 377, which talks about unnatural offences, Section 34, which talks about common intention under IPC, and Section 6 under POSCO, which talks about aggravated penetrative sexual assault and sentence to undergo rigorous imprisonment for life. According to the prosecution, the appellant and co-accused kidnapped the prosecutrix, took her to a jungle and sexually assaulted her. During the investigation, prosecutrix identified the appellant in test identification parade, but the co-accused was not arrested as he had initially absconded and then passed away. The defense argued that the DIP was unreliable, the prosecutrix's testimony had inconsistencies, and no scientific evidence linked the appellant to the crime. However, the court found the prosecutrix's account consistent, credible, and unshaken in cross-examination. It held that her testimony alone was sufficient to convict. Dismissing the appeal, the court upheld the trial court's findings and the appellant's life sentence. The Rajasthan High Court has denied bail to Congress leader and former Public Health Engineering Department Minister Mahesh Joshi in a PMLA case linked to irregularities in Jal Jeevan Mission tenders and receiving bribe of rupees 2 crores for the same, as well as laundering funds. The ED argued that Joshi was involved in money laundering of the proceeds acquired through the illegal grants of tenders to co-accused Mahesh Mittal and Padam Chand, amounting to rupees 50 lakhs and siphoning off approximately of rupees 2 crores. ED claimed that statements of co-accused along with charge sheet in predicate offence substantiate that tenders were procured using fake certificates and bribes were both offered and received by the petitioner's close associate Sanjay Badaya. Justice Praveer Bhatnagar, after examining the records, observed that evidence sufficiently established Joshi's involvement in the alleged offence. The court rejected Joshi's defence that the credited amount was a loan, noting the absence of documentation and terming such a claim implausible. It also addressed the evidentiary value of statements recorded under Section 50 of PMLA, holding that they are admissible unless proven otherwise, though their impact depends on corroboration and legality of investigation. Concluding that prima facie evidence demonstrated collusion between Joshi and others, the court ruled that his arguments failed to weaken the prosecution's case and dismissed his bail plea. In the last news today, the Karnataka High Court will hear on August 30 the plea of online gaming company Head Digital Works, which operates A23 Rummy, challenging the Promotion and Regulation of Online Gaming Act 2025, which seeks to prohibit online money games and offering of bank services and related advertisements. The newly enacted law, which received presidential assent on August 22nd, applies to gaming services offered both within India and outside India. As per Section 2, Clause H, online money gaming service shall mean a service offered by a person for entering or playing the online money game. Any person who extends such service in contravention of the proposed law shall be punishable with up to 3 years imprisonment or up to rupees 1 crore fine or with both. Any person who engages in advertisement thereof shall be punishable with imprisonment up to 2 years or fine up to rupees 50 lakh or with both. The Act empowers the Centre to establish an authority to regulate gaming, classify games, and exercise wide investigative powers, including arrest and search without warrant. While the law prohibits online money games, it excludes from the scope of prohibition esports, which may be recognized and promoted by the central government as a legitimate form of sports in India. Along with esports, the government may also consider prompting and recognizing online social games for educational and recreational purposes, which may include a subscription fee for entry but not in the nature of wager or betting.